Okay, today class, our objective is going to be from our reading, which is Save Me a Seat by Gita Avara Dara Jain. I don't know, it's a hard last name to say. We're going to identify one theme or plot point from our text. And once you identify the theme or plot point from the text, we're going to write it out on this sheet. As you can see, there's spots for 2 themes. So if you have extra time, you can write another one down on there if you want. Pass these out to you guys. And so since we're 5th graders, I want to see good 5th grade level writing too for your plot point. So an example of the plot point from what we read last class is So, an example of the 5th grade writing level would be Ravi is struggling to adapt to his new, I forgot to put in school, but new school since he moved from India. Does anyone have any questions on what a plot point or theme is? Thank you, Jade.
Yep.
Does anyone have any questions on what a plot point or theme would be? Or any examples of what 5th grade level writing we should have? No? All right, let's get started. Page 49 in the text. So how we're gonna do this is I'll start off reading the first, I'll read through the top of page 51 and I'll pass it on to Autumn and we'll work our way around the class reading a few paragraphs at a time. So chapter 9 from Ravi's perspective. I lay out my math notebook, which Amma and I have carefully covered with brown paper. The label in neat cursive says, Ravi Suryanarayan, grade 5, Albert Einstein Elementary School, Mathematics. It is my mother's handwriting. We went to Staples together last week to buy all my school supplies, but she insisted on writing out the labels herself. Even Parama has to admit that Amma's handwriting is beautiful. Your book is the first thing your teacher will notice, Ravi. Amma told me as she carefully wrote my name on one of the smooth white labels. First impressions matter. Now sitting at my desk, I run my hand over my math notebook and smile. In India, I was the winner of the Math Olympiad 3 years in a row. I know all my multiplication tables till 20. Appa is right. There's nothing wrong with showing off a little. I'm sure that after this morning, Mrs. Beam will realize what kind of student I really am, and this silly business about Miss Frost and special will be over. Special help will be over. I placed my new pencil box next to the notebook. Amma made sure that every item on the school supplies list was bought. 3 mechanical pencils, 2 erasers, a 6-inch ruler, 2 highlighters, 4 rolled notebooks, and a pack of 3M Post-its. I keep looking over at Mrs. Beam, but I don't think that she has noticed yet how well prepared I am. She's busy writing on the whiteboard. In India, we only had blackboards. I love the soft scraping noise the chalk made and the smell of dusty erasers. Go ahead, Autumn.
The desk in front of me is empty. I wonder if Dylan Simran will be absent today. But at last minute, he comes rushing into class and takes his seat. I'm glad my new friend is going to be here to witness what's about to happen. I'm sure he will be impressed. Let's do a quick review, Mrs. Beam announces. Easy peasy, I think, when I see the math problems Mrs. Beam has written on the board. Is this what 5th graders in America are doing? I was expecting something much harder, like maybe order of operations or something to do with decimals and fractions. The big guy who sits behind me is groaning and moaning. I turn to see what's wrong with him and notice his name card for the first time. Joe Sylvester. As I'm reading his name, Joe Sylvester suddenly looks up. I smile, but he doesn't smile back. I can't believe kids in America are allowed to come to school looking like him. In India, we had to wear uniforms with dress pants, a collared shirt, and a tie. Joe Sylvester had a tracksuit pants and an unironed t-shirt. I faced front again and straightened my back. Good posture is also on Emma's list of ways to make a good first impression. Joe Sylvester is slouching in his chair. Who would like to come up and show us how to solve the first problem? Mrs. Beam asked the class. I push up my glasses, take a deep breath, and raise my hand.
Please don't call on me, please don't call on me, please don't call on me, I think. But I can feel Mrs. Beam's head turning my way. I groan. I have a feeling I know where this is heading. I sure hope Miss Frost remembered to tell Miss Beam about my APD. Nobody knew anything was wrong with me until I started school. The first week of kindergarten, I spent most of my time hiding in the coat closet with my hands over my ears. My teacher, Miss Kane, thought I was homesick, but that wasn't it at all. I didn't want to go home, I just couldn't handle the noise. It turns out I have something called APD, which stands for Auditory Processing Disorder, and means I have trouble listening. I'm not deaf, I can hear just fine. In fact, in a way, the problem is that my hearing is too good, which is why I go to Miss Frost. She gives me exercises to help my ears and my brain agree with what to listen to and what to tune out. She also has M&Ms in her office, peanut ones, and she lets me eat as many as I want. Miss Frost understands what's going on, but pretty much nobody else does. They don't understand how hard it is for me to follow directions when the electric pencil sharpener is going, or the door keeps slamming, or I'm worrying about whether someone is about to sneak up behind me and do something mean. They also don't understand how much I hate to be put on the spot, like when a teacher calls on me. As Miss Bean turns my way, I slide down in my seat. Even if she knows about my APD, it doesn't mean I'm safe. Sometimes teachers think they're doing you a favor by treating you like you're no different from anyone else. The thing is, I am different. I slide down even farther in my seat, as low as I can go without falling out. All I care about is not getting called on. It's not that I can't do math. Actually, I'm pretty good at it. But standing up in front of the class makes me nervous, and when I get nervous, I forget what I'm doing and make mistakes. It turns out today is my lucky day, though, because the new kid shoots his hand straight up in the air like an arrow. He's wearing another white polo shirt, buttoned all the way up. Even the sleeves have been ironed flat. They're stiff and stick out funny like little wings. His desk is covered with a bunch of junk, including some shiny new mechanical pencils, which Dylan keeps eyeballing with a klepto gleam. Miss Beam looks right at me. At least I think she's looking at me, but then she calls on the new kid instead. That was close.
Before Jacob starts reading, can anyone tell me what a klepto gleam would be?
Stealing.
Good job.
Context clues.
Alright, Jacob, start reading at the top of page 56.
Robbie asked Mrs. Beam, would you like to come up to the board? This is it, the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Beam. I say, quickly correcting myself. In my hurry to get up, my knee bangs against my desk, and all my school supplies fall to the floor. I don't want to miss my chance to show off my math skills, so I quickly bend down to pick up my things. My glasses started to slip down my nose, but before I can push them up, something hard hits my forehead. It's Joe Sylvester's head. Why has he done this? Bumped me with his rock hard head. Can't he see I am trying to collect my stuff? I rub my forehead as he rubs his. His giant foot is stepping on my name card. Bigfoot, I mutter under my breath. Dylan hears me and laughs. That's rich, he says. Bigfoot just sits there like a lump, but Dylan gets right down on the floor beside me and helps me pick up the rest of my things. I thank him for his help, then take a deep breath and straighten my back. I am not going to allow anything to spoil this moment. This is my time to shine. I march up to the front of class, take the blue marker from Mrs. Beam's hand, and face the whiteboard. I look at the first problem, 23 times 13. I close my eyes and the answer comes to me in a flash, 299. But I'm not going to blurt it out and take a bow. I'm going to show Mrs. Beam something she has never seen before. What you are about to witness is pure magic, a secret handed down from ancient times, I say with confidence. There is complete silence in the classroom. I think Mrs. Bean's jaw has just dropped. I want to, 1, show Joe Sylvester what I think of him and his giant foot. 2, tell Mrs. Bean the only thing that is hurting is my pride. 3, shout at the top of my voice, my name is not Robbie. But here is what I do instead. 1, bite my tongue. 2, pick myself up. 3, go and get my glasses. Opposite advice has gotten me nowhere. I am right back where I started. The only difference is that now, thanks to Bigfoot, I have a bump on my forehead and a huge shoe print on my name card.
Brandon, I'd like you to read through the middle of page 62.
When Mrs. Beam calls on the new kid to come up to the board to do the first problem, he jumps out of his seat like a jumping jack in the box on a spring. His glasses slide down his nose and all of the stuff on his desk goes flying, including his name card, which lands on the floor beside my desk. Ravi. Mrs. Beam has been calling him Ravi, but when he introduced him earlier, I'm pretty sure he said his name was Ravi, with the accent on the second syllable. As I reach down to pick up the card, he reaches forward at the same time, and we bump heads. Ouch. Dylan gets on the floor to help Robbie pick up his stuff, but I know he's really up to. Quick as a flash, he puts one of those mechanical pencils down in front of his pants. When Robbie finally makes it to the front of the class to solve the problem, he draws a bunch of crazy-looking arrows on the board, each in a different color. I think it's cool, but Mrs. Beam isn't impressed. He seems pretty bummed out after that. I don't see what the difference is as long as he gets the right answer.
Go ahead.
Then, as if things weren't bad enough, Dylan sticks his foot out and trips him. That's a Dylan Samreen specialty, kicking a person when they're already down. He tries to pin it on me, but anyone with half a brain would see through that. How could I trip him from 10 feet away? My legs are long, but they're not that long. While Ravi goes to get his glasses and Mrs. Beam tries to decide whether she needs to call the school nurse, Dylan reaches back and swipes another one of Ravi's mechanical pencils. I feel bad for Ravi. I could definitely give him some pointers, like for instance, not to leave his stuff lying around and to watch out for the winking. Dylan always winks when he's up to no good. Maybe at lunch Ravi and I will sit at the same table again. I wouldn't mind. His clothes are flat and his lunchbox is weird, but other than that, he seems okay.
Alright, so good job on the reading. So now with the worksheets that I passed out that everyone should have, we're going to take, let's see, how much time do we have left, Jake? We're going to take 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes, and we're going to get at least one theme or plot point written down. If you have time after you've written your first plot point, move on to the second one. And I'll be coming around and seeing what you've written in it. If you have any questions, raise your hand and I'll stop by. Do you need help with one of them?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what page. Alright, so on page 53, where Joe talks about having APD. You remember what APD is?
Yeah.
You could use that as an example. Alright, is everyone finished? Do you need an extra minute? Okay.
Left. You've been going for 16. Okay. Because when you said
Alright, now that everyone's done, everyone's gonna go around the room and share what they wrote. We'll start with you, Kelsey.
with me or
Yeah,
Autumn?
with you.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I said that Joe wants a friend, or he's struggling in school, both with the learning and with the friend part. And so I said I think this is a theme because it sounds like it's hard for him to learn because of his APD, and it's hard for him to make friends because he's always worried people are gonna attack him.
Okay, good